Hi, Cheyenne.
I can't see any of you now. The seat's really squishy. Okay, so I have a couple of little things. And the first things I'm going to read are 3 bits of like micro memoir from a zine that I wrote called The Friendly Skies. And it's just snippets of conversation from flights that I've been on. So you sit next to a stranger, and you don't usually learn their name, but sometimes they make an impression. And so these are 3 impressions. On the way from Dallas to Albuquerque, I said to someone, "Yeah, I like to travel and want to move out of Kentucky before too long." At the time I lived there. And she said, "Well, you are so young. You can do anything at this point in your life." And I was like, "Yeah, I mean, it might be a little disruptive for my career. I'll be 30 in a month." She's like, "Oh, that's pretty young." She was like 33. So slightly awkward. When I was going from Boston back to Lexington, Kentucky, where I used to live, I was seated awkwardly between a married couple, and I couldn't tell if it was intentional or not, and I kind of offered to move, and they were like, "No, it's fine, like, he just wants to read, it's cool." And we started making small talk, and he's like, "You're past 25 and you're not married?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess I haven't found the right person yet." And he says, "Well, you shouldn't waste any more time." And I'm like super accusatorily, and his wife goes, "Oh, he's full of shit." And he goes, "Oh, don't listen to her." And just sat there in silence for the rest of the film. And the third conversation is actually between me and the airplane coming back from Detroit. And the plane says, we're on the tarmac. Wait a few minutes, here's some more thumping. And then the pilot says, "Our crews are almost done with repairs. Let's give them a hand." Nobody claps. And then the plane goes, and then it starts to whir kind of really reluctantly and keeps whirring. And the flight attendant says, "Please look to the front of the cabin while I make an important safety announcement." And I go, "Yep, purr like a kitten, let's get her up in the air." And everybody else in the plane was not. That's the first bit. This is a poem I wrote for this poetry challenge that happened last year in the town I used to live in. And I don't write poems really, so I was like, I'm just going to do this and see what happens. And this is something that happened, and I really liked it. It's called 26 Hours. On hour 23, we had seen it all. Through bleary eyes, or so we thought. Poorly constructed sandwiches, half-caught naps, holy rollers and hand tattoos, the internecine exchange between cigarettes and sleep. Remnants of lives trailing in the wake of a crowded bus. Then she walked up the steps and took a seat with uncertain grace and started to put on makeup. When a passenger began to harass her, ask us what we thought about this fucking tranny 2 rows in front of him, her hands shook as she applied her lipstick. "I think she's beautiful," I said, flustering him. He shook his head. "You're just as fucked up as he is." When the bus pulled into the station, only 3 hours late, we walked with relief toward the train. But I made sure to watch the man and the beautiful woman exit in opposite directions before I could leave. The next bit is some computer-generated nonsense. I'm working on a zine called Avant, and it's auto-generated texts and poorly transcribed computer versions of voicemails that I received. And so this one is just, it's pretty meta, so I wanted to share with you. Okay. The information contained in this message is not the intended recipient. You are not the intended recipient. You are doing great. Have you ever wanted you can also post good time, for you are not blocked by reply email? So the next day or two and 3 years ago, I was wondering, what the hell is going to be a good time to get the chance to look at the end of the individual or entity? That one was really confusing. I have no idea what it meant, but it's great. And then the last bit is going to require some crowd participation. So I can't see well enough to know who's where. So just, I guess, yell out things. I'm going to ask you to...
Things!
Okay, so let's start with a name, a person's name.
Judy.
Judy. Okay. Color.
Pink.
Pink? Okay, great. Plural noun.
Things.
Things! I love it. Okay. Adjective.
Mad Libby.
Mad Libby.
That's
You got my number. Beverage.
Ginger beer.
Okay, cool. Another adjective besides
Orange.
Mad Libby. Orange. Okay. Location.
Coney Island.
Coney Island. Yeah, shout out to the Mermaid Parade, which happened today, despite the weather. Machine. Any type of machine.
Bike.
Slushy machine.
Slushy machine. I like it. Refreshing. Okay. An object.
Combine.
What?
A combine?
Combine. Okay. I thought you said Columbine. I was like, what's that? Is that a flower? Maybe. Okay. Anyway. Okay. A type of animal.
Boston Terrier.
Boston Terrier. I love it. Okay. A local celebrity.
Jesus.
Lives over on Broadway.
That's actually Jesus, but
It's your interpretation. Okay, a type of instrument.
Violin.
Trombone.
Violin, trombone.
There is one.
Yeah.
It's Rhode Island, right?
Yeah. Okay. A number.
8.
Who said
Fight.
83? Alright. A type of illness.
Dysentery.
Dysentery. I'm sorry, if there was another one, I would totally write one of illnesses. An actor.
Keanu Reeves.
Good one. A band from the 80s?
All of them.
Cocaine.
All of them. Cool. A U.S. president?
Eisenhower.
Alright. Okay.
Ready.
A country?
America.
That has like a lot of exclamation points. Okay.
Ripping me off the A, just America.
Another object?
Tennis ball.
Tennis ball. Thank you. And a city.
Detroit.
I wonder who said that. Okay. So you guys just helped me fill in a fake record review, Mad Lib, that I made for this zine that was part of the radio station I used to be affiliated with in Lexington. Well, the latest from Judy and the Pink Things, Mad Libby Ginger Beer, isn't quite what I expected, but it's got orange charm. typical for the Coney Island-based band. The use of slushy machine sounds starts things off, and then they lurch into full tilt combine wave. It's really intense. Track 13, Fall Boston Terriers Make Dinner, features Jesus using only a spork to play the violin trombone. Pretty cool. Track 83 dragged along for 38 minutes and was about dysentery, I think, or maybe Keanu Reeves. Anyway, with influences like all of them, Milligan's and Eisenhower, not to mention their 103 years building recording studios in America for charity. You'd think they'd have a more stupid approach to art, but what do I know? Listen if you like bands like Tennis Ball, or if you dig the Detroit aesthetic. 13 stars.